I'm working on that project list. I got a project list that goes back quite a while, and I have been concerned about the tires on the trailer for some time because all four of them are brand new and they're not cheap. They're 10-ply tires. So today's task was to weed eat, wash them down, spray them with some 303 Protectant, one of my favorite, and put some bags on them. And it turns out that 30 gallon, are they? Yeah, 30 gallon bags are perfect. You know, as you can see, I got a little sheet metal I've been put on them. But today, what I did is took the weed eater, cut all the grass off. No siren. Gave them a good wash on both sides, and then I sprayed them, saturated them, both sides with 303. It's a nice, good seal. And then I put a bag on them. Now, these bags are not going to last forever, but in a couple of years, okay, cool. My thinking is that it's going to keep all of the new tire chemicals close to the new tires. It's going to keep the 303 Protectant close to the new tires, and that in itself should help to keep the sidewalls healthy, because that's what really goes on your boat trailer tires first, right? And it's not just the sunny side that can get rot, it can be the inside as well. And so I treated the inside, and because this is going to be parked, I treated the tread side as well. So every exposed angle has been sprayed. Now, I have brand new backing plates on here for my brakes on all four wheels, and I don't want those to get boogered up as well. And so by bagging everything, I'm going to keep water out, but the bottom is open, as you can see, so they drain. And there's a corner where the bag is usually upside down, and there's a corner over there. So, and yeah, 30 gallon fits these tires just right. And these babies are about 14.5 inches. So, there you go. Now, I do tend to put a chunk of sheet metal up against them to keep the sun off, which, of course, is a great idea. But I think this is going to go a step beyond, because at the end of the day, let's be real, it's going to be a couple of years till I get this boat done. But that's cool, because I just need to plan for that, right? And part of that planning means doing something simple like this, where I can add in a nice rubber protectant to all those rubber products, put a cheap bag on it, and keep the sun off, and those sidewalls ought to stay healthy for a good while. Alright, so that last tire's done. Yay! And you might be wondering, why are you using something like cheap bags? Well, years ago, when I had my horse trailer, I got the sewing machine out, and I made a set of covers that went up over the two tandem axles. I had a strip across the bottom. I filled it with sand, and it held them down in place, and it was great. It worked really well. I would take my horse out and go work cows, and when I park my trailer, I throw the covers on. And then I started boarding my horse at a stable, and some fucking loser decided that they need them more than me. So now I don't invest so much time and money in things. So like some cheap plastic bags and some 303 spray, probably a better option until I get her behind a fence. And when I get her behind the fence, what I'm going to do is I'm going to block the trailer up nice and level, and then I'm going to pull off the rims with the tires and put them in the garage. But I'll probably be a year away before I do that. So this is intended to be like a 1 year tide me over. Alright, so there's the north side done, and got some sheet metal here and an old chunk of metal. And you know what? Nobody wants to steal that shit, do they? Nobody cares about some plastic bags. And the sun, the wind, the rain, the weather is off of those tires. They're very well protected from the inside from the boat already, but reflective UV could affect the backside. And so by bagging them, I don't have any UV touching this rubber anymore. And I think that the way to win the war is by small increments of winning the battle. So here we are on the south side, which typically gets sun, and I've had the trash in the recycling bin against this one forever, but so I've been really guarding the south side greatly, but now this makes me feel much better. And I did not need duct tape to put it on because the 30-gallon bags were absolutely perfect. They're just a tiny bit tight, and so they're stretched kind of like up and over the axle in the back, over here and over the front. And so I have about a 95% coverage. And that's pretty freaking good at the end of the day. So for now, that's how a tire gets covered up. With a recycling garbage bins, a chunk of plywood, and some bags with some 303 Protectant. And there is a marine version of this. My next bottle will be that, but I mostly want it because it really hydrates the rubber, and it's really good UV protection. But now, you know, when that south sun hits and reflects back, those inboard sidewalls will not be exposed. And this took me, you know, I had to weed whack anyway, it was time, and I washed everything down, so that took a couple 10 minutes. And then, you know, it was just like stretch the bags over it after you put the spray on. It just can't be any easier than that, right? Just a little simple things, to just little tiny tasks to win the war. So there we go. At least that one little thing that was on my list got checked off, and now I can go and work on something else. And sometimes I think the way that you tame a whale is the first step. You teach the whale to accept the bridle. All right, you guys. This is SV Melton's Miracle, and I know I'm taking a long time to get things going here, but I can tell you straight up, things are going here. And I'll show you a little bit of my new project list. There's been a few little projects that I picked up here and there, some valves, so on, pieces and parts. I like to shop when things are on sale. Like this was a West System. No, I'm sorry, West Marine. They had a sale. It was like 40% off and things. Like you could put a bag, your garbage bags in this little thing. And you can get these Y valves that I need for my water tank. And I can get these little pieces and part. And I got a bunch of bungee material that I'm going to use. And like this guy, $38. Great deal. This guy, $50. This is used lightly. Some rollers. And I bought some, this is a vintage part for the tiller. This was like $85 for a foot whale pump. And then I doled out some big bucks, and I bought 2 Johnson pumps. This is our freshwater pump. This is our wash down pump. And if these 2 pumps look alike, it's not by accident, because my thinking was is if one craps out, like my freshwater pump, then I can substitute this one in a heartbeat and utilize the parts. It's absolutely true. And Johnson pumps, and they just seem to have some pretty good, results online in terms of performance. So I'm going to do my first pumps as being Johnson. I did pick up a water heater, so we have another 6 gallons of fresh water on board. I can run hot water from our Dickinson diesel stove in here, or the engine to heat hot water, and I can change out the 110 heating element for a 12-volt system and run it off as solar if I need to. But 1040 marine oil for $1.50 a quart on clearance. So I got 15 of those. And the most recent thing I bought was this 55-inch refrigerator freezer unit. Because at the end of the day, I don't want to bend over and play Tetris with my food. And if you want to know how all that's going to work, well, we'll talk about this because I've been reading up. And yes, I'm going to design a system that will power this stuff. So I know it's kind of crazy. When you build your own boat, you get to design things the way you want them. This is kind of a fun project I'm working on. I don't like the red here, so I've got some blue paint. And look at this. I bought this honeycomb grill, and I'm going to put some honeycomb grill in our vents with some blue paint in the background, and that will be really customized for a honey boat. Say that fast really quick. And look at these. These are little hexagon templates. So like every little backing plate that I need to make for a thing, I can template it out and cut it down and make a really pretty little backing plate really easily. I'm stoked about that. So yeah, things are moving along. I know physically I am just creeping along right now trying to get ahead of the world. But I am getting better. Number one, I am getting caught up on some projects around the house, and I'm going to start to work on the camper, the motorcycle, the ski boat, and sell them and get them the hell out of here so I can move the sailboat into its final resting place. Then I can take the tires off, put them in the garage, level out the trailer, and start construction. Yay! The crowd will go wild. So, today we're bagging the tires after they're nice and clean with a fresh coat of really a deep saturation of 303 Protectant, just to buy me some time until I can get to that next step. I'm working on it, you guys. Bear with me. I'm working on it. Love you guys. Bye-bye.